Hey everybody, just another episode of Thoughts from Josh. So, I was driving, dropped the kids off at preschool this morning, which it's President's Day, so there's no preschool. It just basically play all day. But there's a church by their school, and on the billboard it said, give praise and thanks to God. And so, for those of you who don't know, I was raised Southern Baptist, which probably falls into the whole evangelical grouping of the whole, was taught, if you don't repent and you don't accept Jesus into your heart, then when you die, you'll go to hell, burn in pits of fiery hell, blah, blah, blah. So, that was my thing for pretty much all the way through high school, some of my, what would be considered my college years. And then I really started to think for myself, and I started to question things, and so now, fast forward, I don't really know. I guess I would be considered agnostic. I really don't know. I don't think there's any one right thing, because frankly, I haven't died and come back to life to be able to say this is what happens when you die. And so I think it's all just, the whole thing is really fucking stupid, because so there, in my opinion, there are three types of people when it comes to faith. There's people who take something on faith and don't ask questions. Why is the sky blue? Because God made it that way. Well, why did my uncle die? Because God said it was his time. That bullshit. Then the second type of people is the people who have faith, but do question things. Why is the sky blue? Well, let me go figure it out. Oh, the sky is blue because we have blue oceans and it's a reflection of light, whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's just say that it is. And they figure it out. But then they still resolve down to the fact that it's blue because of the way God designed it. It has a scientific reason, but ultimately it's that way because God designed it that way. And then there's the third group of people, and this is the group of people that I probably fall into, that really don't have, I can't really say I don't have faith, because I do have some faith. It's limited faith, let's say. If it can be explained scientifically, then that's the reason why it is. If it can't be explained scientifically, then I guess you could say I have faith that there is a scientific explanation. I just don't know it yet. I haven't grown, we as a people, even as a race, the human race, haven't grown to the point to be able to understand or comprehend the science behind why something happens. So, in thinking about that billboard, or the marquee, I guess, I think the main reason why we are in the predicament we're in with how we think of ourselves is, let's be honest, if somebody says to you, what's your race? You probably say Caucasian or white, or you say African American, or you say Native American or Chinese, or blah, 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 blah. What the answer should be is human. But we don't think of ourselves as one big human race, and the fact that we all play a part in the ecosystem of our planet, and we all have a pretty huge impact on the ecosystem of our planet. And I think one of the reasons why that is because of the group of people that fall into that first grouping of faith. The people who don't question, who just accept that God or Allah or Yahweh or whatever you believe in made it that way because that's the way that they designed it to be. Why is our planet falling apart? Why is global warming happening? Because Yahweh wanted it to be that way. Because it's predicted in the end times and Revelation, blah blah blah. So I think, and I think if we had more people who fell into the second and third groupings, people who question, people who ask questions, people who seek to understand why something is the way it is, then we would probably be able to affect change. We would be able to figure out a better way to produce electricity that doesn't harm the planet. We would figure out a way to feed people more efficiently, instead of just saying, and really the big bullshit, the biggest lie of the whole thing. This is the biggest thing that is the biggest lie, is that there's one religion or faith or belief or whatever that is higher or outweighs another. That is a lie. Because again, none of us have died and then come back to life to be able to say definitively, this is what happens when you die. Therefore, this is what you should believe in. Now, anybody who is a Christian listening to this would probably be like, well, Jesus died and came back to life. Well, I haven't really talked to Jesus lately. And that's not a jab at prayer. I'm not, don't respond with, well, if you pray, you talk to Jesus. No. If you pray, you talk to yourself. And you put positive energy into the world, and that positive energy produces positive outcomes. So, yeah. Again, the lie is that there is one religion greater than the other. And I'm not saying that I'm sure that there are people within various religious groupings that believe that their system is the best system. It's just it's like it's not even a religion thing. It's a human nature thing. Just we all have, you know, we believe so strongly in something that we want to share it with the world. But the problem is that there's a difference between sharing and telling or forcing to other people to be that way. So, yeah, I mean, I can tell you about an idea that I have, and you may think it's a good idea, but if you don't think it's a good idea, whatever, you don't have to listen to it. So, I think that's the problem we get into. So, getting back to, when I started this whole thing, we really need to have more people, especially people in positions of influence, to question, to not only think outside the box, but question the existence of the box. And I think when we get to that point, what you'll see is another renaissance. We'll have an explosion of culture, and I think the biggest thing will be it'll be an explosion of intermixed culture. We won't hopefully see ourselves anymore as white, black, African American, Chinese, whatever the thing is. We won't see that anymore. Instead, what we'll see is that we're all a part of the human race. And as humans, if we want to continue to exist, we have to make some changes. We are at a point in our life where there's some really, really smart people, just highly intelligent people that live amongst us. And some of those people probably aren't even engaged. They haven't even tapped all of their potential because of whatever cultural reasons that we've held them back, or they've held themselves back. So, we can do this. We just have to get rid of the belief that, so it's basically a 3-step process. One, you don't have to abandon religion, but you have to abandon the notion that there is one belief system or religion that is higher than the rest. That's number one. You have to do that. 2, you have to stop saying something is the way it is because the higher power of whatever system you believe in made it that way. You have to question, because questions lead to answers, and answers lead to more questions, and so on and so forth. And that's how you learn. And then 3, we have to stop concerning ourselves with our differences and focus on the things that make us the same. And I think if we can accomplish those 3 things, we will have a better chance at making it. And we can't just say, okay, we're going to put all of our chips into the idea that one day we'll start a colony on Mars and we'll terraform Mars, and so then when we fuck up the Earth so bad that we can't live here anymore, we'll just go live on Mars. because what we'll do is we'll shift all of our problems from this planet to that planet. And in another 1,000 years, another 20,000 years or whatever, that planet will be just as bad. And we'll probably be sending people back over to Earth to terraform Earth, to get it back. We'll just jump back and forth for the next eon. But we have to make some significant changes. I'm concerned about the future of my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids. My kids are 4 now, but, they'll have kids, and their kids will have kids, and the generations will go on. Well, right now, the decisions that we make right now influence those future generations. We need to make better decisions. We need to put things in place today that set them up to have a successful future. And I'm not talking about success as in financial success or career success. I'm talking about being able to go to a park to see green grass and green trees, to go to Florida and not have it be an island. So, yeah, those are my 3 things. My 3 observations for how we can, as a people, as a human race, better our chances for a good future. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening. If you listened, feel free to leave comments below. One thing I will not ever do is squelch an opinion. So if you leave a comment and you totally bash me and tell me that I'm going to go to hell, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion. I'll just close on saying that something that my grandfather used to always say: opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. So, there you go. Thanks for watching.